So in this video, I'm going to be showcasing my bunny build that helps me take out the new void bus boss. It takes me about 3 to 4 minutes. The boss is very weak against electric, that's why bunny is perfect, as well as the grind for that new electric type it's going to take a while. So bunny is more than effective for this fight. It's an in-game level boss, so mastery rank 18 is required before we can actually fight it. So for the actual boss fight, so that you can see that the build works. The fight itself is pretty straightforward in my opinion. All you need to do is watch out for those canisters being dropped by the boss, and then prioritize taking those out as soon as possible. And then Bunny's two skills, speed of light and lightning emission, is what you're going to be using and what you're going to be relying on for the majority of the fight for evading attacks and doing damage. Destroying the canisters gives you a temporary shield from the boss's debuff attacks. It's like a toxic debuff that slowly drains your health over time, and if you run into that purple smoke that's spewing from the boss as well as the canisters. But as soon as the boss spawns, you're going to be using lightning emission to do the majority of the DPS, like I said, and then using your grappling hook with maneuvering. You're going to be constantly circling the boss and avoiding boss's attacks. You're also going to be keeping an eye out for those minions that drop health orbs and mana orbs, just so that you can keep your resources up. Try to use it sparingly, because the boss is going to go into a rage phase where it does become more deadly, sort of near the end of the rage phase. The boss's fist will glow, and this is a sign for you to start running away from the boss, because he's going to start chasing and then jumping towards you, where it'll sort of do a massive AoE slam on the floor, and then if you get caught up in that, it can wipe out your entire health bar, so just watch out for that. So if you effectively evade the boss's attacks and you keep up your third ability using speed of light whenever you can, you'll be able to clear it in less than 4 minutes. At least that's been the case for me anyways. So for my modules, I'm going with high voltage. This module is kind of key for this build, because it's what allows you to do so much more damage. You can go without it, however it's gonna cost you more DPS, and the fight will drag on a little bit longer. From my test, it took me about 6 minutes to take down the boss without high voltage, but it is possible for sure. But high voltage, you can get this from the Pyromaniac hard mode boss fight. You can get it from that. And then also, which is pretty much important, perfect anti-venom, which allows me to survive the toxic and the poison damage. Gives me poison immunity, and then toxic resistance as well. Then for survivability, which you do need, I'm gonna go with my health mods, increased HP, battle of stamina, so and then for my skill mods, I'm going for electric power, focus on electric, and then singular specialist, which boosts my singular skill power. And then I'm increasing range instead of duration, so that I can just it allows me not to be so close to the boss, and like just put some more distance between me and the boss. So expansive range is increasing it, as well as maximize range, and I'm increasing it further with frugal mindset, as well as getting a cost reduction to my skills. And then MP accelerant for more duration, and agony, which gives me more MP and some defense as well. And yeah, that's basically my Defiler build for Bunny. This works. This will help you get through the fight quickly. For my reactor, I've got additional skill attack when I'm attacking the Colossus. Also skill critical hit damage also boosted. But it can be anything, because I'm not really relying on crit damage for this build. That's why I've got no crit mods on there as well. But yeah, skill attack against Colossus is what you need. Very important. Just maximizing your damage against the Colossus is more important. And then I've got scout rifle mounted, because I'm going with the blue beetle. The blue beetle, the reason why is because blue beetle has a unique ability called purification. What this does is it removes any debuff, like 100% of the debuffs are removed. It's got a 50% trigger rate, but because you're like spamming electric lightning emission all the time, you're going to be triggering purification pretty much all the time, and it's very helpful for when you do get that toxic debuff that the boss gives you. Then you can just use purification, gets rid of it, and you're able to survive longer. Helps with survivability. So yeah, that's my reactor and that's my weapon that I'm using. And then for components, not the only thing important about this is the fact that I'm using a Slayer set. I'm not really using any other set. I go with Slayer because I get a flat increase to my skill power, 26%, so that's the reason why I'm going with Slayer set. For the what is this called, the processor, the processor's got toxic resistance on it, which gives me more toxic resistance. So I think that's the most important part about this set. It's just the fact that I get this more toxic resistance as well to it. But that's about it. As you can see, 4000 toxic resistance, not ideal, but it's enough for the fight. And anyway, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope it helps, and good luck.